Okay, so our topic for today is direct mail is not dead. This is a topic that I love because it really brings back, almost like brings back the basics. And at the same time, we kind of like zig and zag, right? If everybody's doing everything online, let's do the opposite of what they're doing because we're going to be kind of getting the audience that's maybe they're being neglected at this point through direct mail. So I'm really excited about being able to talk about this today. We're going to chat about why use direct mail, what to use it for, when to send it, what to send, and then how often to send as well. So before we get started into the direct mail portion, really want to kind of emphasize how important it is to have personal, professional branding. Because if we are sending out direct mail, it should be the same image, the same look, the same theme, the same palette. Everything should be the same with what we are using for our social, as well as for email newsletters, for pop-bys, for really every single marketing channel that we use. We need to be consistent so that we're recognizable, so that people see that we are incredibly professional. The way that we market ourselves is really a reflection of how we're going to market their home, right? If our personal branding looks very professional, very clean, then the clients or leads are going to have more confidence in the way that we're going to present their home, right? So with that, it's very important to have a logo, to have consistent imagery, consistent palette, and consistent fonts. So whether you're doing direct mail or whether you're doing email, these here are two examples. One is the direct mail, the other one is an email, but you can see the branding is the same, even though it's inverted colors here, but the branding is the same so that we just become more recognizable. Because if we're sending out an email that looks one way, social that looks something else, mail that looks something else, we're really not going to have that same impact as we would if it was branded. So it's really important that even as individual agents, that we take very seriously the need for professional branding. If that is something that you need, that is something that we can help with at Blink Marketing, we do have a branding package where we do all this for you. So this is kind of what we're talking about. So having your Facebook logo be the same. These things all matter because we're going to be wasting our money if we're sending out direct mail that's not recognizable to us and to our brand. So very, very important there. Now, why do we use direct mail? Because we need to meet people where they're at. And let's be honest, not all of our clients are at social media, at email. You know, we need to still meet those folks who maybe aren't as tech savvy, or maybe they're just too busy and they get a million emails a day. So direct mail is able to cut through that digital noise that we get constantly. So that is just a great, it's really a great option. This is what I'm talking about. We zig when they zag, right? So if everybody's doing social, then let's take the opportunity to do direct mail as well. Again, doing it through cohesive branding, and then you're going to have a solid return on your investment. This is a proven strategy, right? We're not like out there chasing, you know, Facebook leads that may or may not convert. Direct mail is a proven strategy over the long run, but it becomes more effective if you do combine it with some digital marketing as well. See, I wouldn't use direct mail as my only channel. I wouldn't use email as my only channel. I wouldn't use social as my only channel. These things work best when they are used in conjunction with each other, right? So I strongly encourage using direct mail and social and email newsletters and pop-bys. And when you're doing all of those things, you don't have to reinvent the wheel. You can use the same content. So use that same content that you're putting in your email newsletter and use it for your direct mail. Use that as your social content. Don't recreate messages for all these different mediums. Use the same message each month, for example. We do monthly themes. That's kind of how we do it because, again, it just re-emphasizes the message. If they happen to see us both on email and in direct mail, and they happen to see that same message, great, it just hits home even further. So why does it work? So direct mail, you can see here on this graph here, direct mail, print ads, anything like that, the perception to the recipient is a higher level of trust. And really it makes sense, right? Because we as marketers, we're spending more money typically when we're sending out direct mail than we are when we do the let's just throw everything against the wall, see what sticks. We are very specific in who we're mailing to. And it does say, I care. It does say, I care enough to send this, 50, 75 cent piece of mail out to you. You are important to me. And so the recipient can touch it, they can feel it, they can save it. I can't tell you how many times as an agent, I have sent something 2 years ago and someone calls me from that postcard or from that piece of mail. It amazes me time and time again. In fact, one story is I went on, my father's in real estate as well. And when I was little, they would get photographs of the house, and I used to, with a glue stick, I was there gluing it to a postcard to be sent out. Well, I mean, my goodness, 20, 25 years later, we go to this woman's house, and she was an older woman, and she said, I still have your postcard here. And I'm like, oh my goodness, I think when I was like 8 years old, I probably glued that on there. So it does work. People do save it. Most don't save it that long, but we do get consistent calls from our mailings, and people absolutely do save them. They can't be deleted, right? They have to look at them. Even if they like take a look and then toss, they're forced to look at it one way or another. And we want that, stay in front of our buyers, stay in front of our sellers, stay in front of our past clients. And again, it's just a little bit more personal. We were very diligent in making sure that we sent that mail to you, to our past clients, to make sure that we're staying in touch with you. So it is more personal. So those are the reasons why we find that direct mail works. Now, how do we use direct mail? So again, we use it. It is part of a comprehensive program that we use. We feel, again, that it is a piece of the puzzle of the kind of like the marketing puzzle, I would say, right? Where each piece fits in a certain way, but we have to use each piece, because if we don't, then there's a hole in our puzzle, right? So every single aspect is just as important. So we personally on our team, we use monthly postcards to stay in front of our past clients, our current clients, and our sphere. We typically are only mailing to our A clients. So I'm not mailing to a 700 person database. I'm really mailing to my A clients, those people that I know are going to give me future business, refer me, and use me again in the future. We use them for event invitations. So I combine also with, in that monthly stay in touch, I'll also add an extra postcard for an event invitation. Again, that's going out to my A's only. We use them also for just listed, just sold, and then we also use our postcards, our direct mail, for farming. And you may ask, before we go to the next page here, again, we've got branding, postcard, and newsletter here. But what I kind of want to, just really emphasize is the way we started, or the reason that we started Blink Marketing, was because we could not find one service that would allow us to have that consistent, cohesive message across all these mediums, because we felt that that was so important. There's a lot of great postcard companies out there, and maybe they're slightly less expensive, if you buy in bulk and use their template. But that template isn't branded to you. Even if it has your logo, the look doesn't look the same as what you may be sending out as an email newsletter, or maybe what you're posting on social. But you're really getting that, it's building the layers of recognition. And that's what's so important. You're going to get more bang for your marketing buck when you are very easily recognizable. People are used to seeing exactly how you're branded. And that's how we are. That's why we started. And that is what we have found to be most effective for our team. So if anybody doesn't know the history here, we are a real estate team. We actively sell real estate every single day. We sell about 500 homes a year, and we use this program. This is how we created Blank Marketing. And this is why, because we felt the need to have this service, and we want to share it with other people because we believe it is so integral to our business. Okay, let me jump back to direct mail here. Sorry for the little tangent. So what are you going to send? You can send anything. You can send something, in a plain white envelope, but it's more cost effective. It's more time effective for us to send postcards. That's just the reality. And again, plus postcards have to be looked at before they're thrown away. So we can do the standard size, is the 5x4, 4x6, but we prefer to do a 6x9 or a 6x11. So they're going to be a little bit more expensive. So it's not the standard postage. That would be a standard U.S. Post Office postcard mailing. It's a little bit more expensive than that, but it's worth it. We like to have a call to action of some type. We like to tie in some type of digital. People ask us all the time, who do we use to have our postcards done? We use Vistaprint. They're easy to use. Usually they have some kind of special. So if you use them once, you're going to get an email with some type of special for the next month. So, there might be cheaper options. We just find that they're consistent, they're reliable. And if you ever find, a typo, or not a typo, but like some type of, like we had gotten a batch of something once where, the color was like slightly off and it was a printing error. They are so accommodating with sending things immediately. So we do like to use Vistaprint. It's not the only company out there. It's just who that's kind of our go-to. And then you can do every door direct mail. You can do that through Vistaprint. That's really for farming. You can use that through Vistaprint. You could also use it through the post office. So that's the most, I would say, cost-effective way to farm. Again, using all of these tactics, making sure you're using a little bit of a larger card. It's worth the extra money. It's not a ton of extra money, but having some type of call to action, like visit my website for a free market analysis, tie in it to digital. So whether you have a QR code in there, whether you have a landing page tied in some way, those are great ways to be able to tie in that digital. And again, you're layering, right? We're trying to layer the marketing to make the most effective overall campaign. So we want to be specific, we want to be consistent. So think about, we always hear it, like how many times do you have to ask for the sale? Think about a sales rep that calls prospect one time and says, oh, it's a bad lead, right? That's kind of how direct mail is. It's not just like a one and done. You have to have a consistent plan. So you have to consistently, on a monthly basis, be sending out these mailings. It's a longer term strategy. And you really need to build your credibility and build the client's familiarity with getting that mail. So absolutely make a commitment to yourself that you are going to try this for a good 6 months, for a year, and make sure you're marking in your calendar, because this is we always have the best intentions, right? But practically speaking, like how do we make sure this really happens? Put it in your calendar, marketing Mondays, the first Monday of every month, time block out your schedule with taking your postcard, uploading it into Vistaprint, sending it out, and just time block it. Because if you don't put it in your calendar, right, it's never going to happen. At least that's how I am. So make sure that you're really consistent in the direct mail that you are doing. So here are some examples of what we do. We try to make the postcards, stand out, attractive. This is like one style that we use. It's like a scripty kind of style. So we've got a lot of different versions that kind of appeal to all aesthetics. But we like to have something like, do you know what your net worth is, right? So like every year we get statements, every month we get statements on our, like, if you have a 401k, your money market account, all of those types of things. But no one ever gives us a yearly update on what our home's worth. And why is that relevant to a buyer or to a seller or to a client, right? Because they can do things with that equity. If their home is worth $50,000 more than they thought, maybe they do a cash out refi. Maybe they do a refi and, do a 15-year as opposed to, maybe they're on a 30-year. buy a vacation home, buy a rental property. We want to start those conversations, but having a catchy title that says, what's your net worth, is really going to be the one that'll kind of catch their eye. The same thing for how healthy is your home, right? I think you would do a double take with this type of message. And it's really talking about, home inspections, right? And you can do a home inspection on your personal residence because you don't want to wait 10 more years till you sell it and then finally have maybe an issue that could have been kind of nipped in the bud much earlier if you had been on top of this. Maybe your call to action on how healthy is your home, the first 5 phone calls that I get a free home inspection. And there's your call to action on that. Same thing for your home insurance audit, right? People always forget it's one of those costs that keep going and going and going. They go up every year and we just kind of don't really notice it. But just reminding people, right, that you should do an audit on your insurance on a yearly basis to make sure that it's in line with where it should be. But people need these reminders from us, and they're all home related in one way, shape, or form, right? People don't need recipe cards from me because, to be quite honest, I'm a horrible cook. So I'm not going to send out recipe cards. I'm not going to send out even really, like there's craft cards. There's all these kinds of cards that they say realtors can, send out. But we need to send out something that's going to tie it back to homes, right, to real estate. So that is what our goal is in order to make sure that these are relevant, that the messages are valuable to the clients, that they're going to continue to look at them. And again, this message here, how healthy is your home, becomes your theme for the month, right? So you can do social media all around this topic. There's so much you can do. You do your newsletter, again, same thing about how healthy is your home. What are those things you look for? Like in here, it's warnings. It's warnings about, hey, have you had your radon checked? That's a big thing in our area. Or did you have your dryer vent cleaned lately? Because I almost had a fire at my house because I hadn't had my dryer vent cleaned. These are the types of things that we can kind of put in here and make it personal as well. So again, direct mail, we recommend at least once a month is really what our target is. And then again, when we use for events, we do it even more. So events, you can see we use a lot of postcards for our events. And that's a great way. A lot of people will say, because I always try to ask people, well, how did you hear about it, right? How did you hear it? If you come to our pie pickup, how did you hear about it? And a lot of folks will say your postcard. It's really interesting. So make sure you're always asking about that. I'm going to jump back though. One of the newer things that we've started to do, I think, everybody's fairly familiar with pop buys, right? And pop buys are great ways for us to stay in front of our sphere and our past clients. But here's the thing, sometimes they're not the most time effective. So if you live in you sell in a fairly large geographic area, it could take you a whole day or 2 or 3 to get through all your past clients doing pop buys. So here's another form of direct mail that we do. We do mail buys. So we'll take something that's pretty tiny, something that's very easy to mail, and we're going to mail that out, a little gift. Again, we're doing this to maybe our A's, and send that out in the mail. Everybody loves getting packages in the mail, right? I think I get so many packages in the mail. Like I wouldn't be surprised if, I don't even know, like I ordered a Christmas tree, I'm sure. Like I've got crazy stuff coming that I don't even remember I order. So I think everybody's like that, but you do love getting mail, right? Because it's always like, what did I get this time? Or what did I order? I forget. And so having these mail buys, I think are super cute. Every time I send them out, I get clients texting me pictures of what it is and saying, oh my God, that's so cute. This one we did because virtual learning, we're thinking of you during these trying times, to all the parents that we have. In this case, you can actually drop it by, but I had just gotten this little, the little packets of the pumpkin spice lattes from Starbucks. And then I also put in like a little martini mix packet like that, a little individual things. And we just stuck those in the mail and they were a huge hit. What we're doing for Christmas this year is we're doing a year to forget with just some of the funny reminders of COVID this year, trying to kind of make a little light of the situation that we're in, but something always to kind of go back and look at. The pop buys again, or the mail buys, super easy to do. We try to kind of keep it in something that's like a bright colored envelope. So it's something that looks attractive to open and that folks really look forward to getting. So those have been really, really effective as another way to use direct mail. Always, again, I can't emphasize enough, you cannot just have a single-sided approach to your marketing. You need to tie this into social media. You need to tie it in to your email marketing, and everything needs to be, again, that one cohesive marketing campaign. So it's definitely something that, there's many different kind of pieces to this puzzle, but direct mail is an extremely important portion of that. So again, just reminders, always be consistent, be professional, be branded, and make sure you're sending those postcards out on a monthly basis. We like to do those quarterly pop-bys or mail buys, and then do a minimum of 2 events a year. That's kind of like our secret sauce for marketing. If you guys don't know what to send, we can help you with that. So if you're not familiar with Blink Marketing Agency, we provide all kinds of templates. We give you everything so that you can use the complete program so that, again, you achieve all those marketing goals that you have. Because really, what we have found is that our market as agents is changing. And we really need to be able to stay in front of our clients, because if not, we are going to be losing them. We're going to be losing them to the Zillows, to the larger online portals. This helps us Zillow-proof our business. Making a complete marketing program and implementing it, being that resource for your past clients, is of utmost importance. And that is how you Zillow-proof your business. And that's really what we found, and we want to share with everyone. So, does anybody have any questions? Tried to make it nice and quick today. If you guys need anything, please just reach out to us at Blink Marketing. If you need anything, we're always here. We're always here to answer any questions and kind of share any successes that we're having personally. We always try to make sure that we're implementing them through Blink so that everyone can use those as well. All right. Let's see here. Awesome. Thank you so much, Carolyn. We appreciate it. If you guys want to dig deeper on any of these topics, just reach out to us. We appreciate the feedback. Any other trainings that you guys want to see, really, please, please, please ask us, because we're happy to present. If we need to dig deeper into different topics, let us know. But as you can see, we are super passionate about all of this, and we want to share it. We want to, help everyone to be able to strengthen and grow their businesses the way that we have found that we've been able to do ours. So, all right. Well, have a great day, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. We appreciate it and look forward to seeing everybody soon.